Kevin, that's a show. We talk about things you want to know.
Welcome to, false start.
He disappeared again. There he is.
Who they used to get up? Who used to do the sound effects all the time? Not Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor.
Charlie Callis.
Who?
Charlie Callis.
Callis, who was not funny, but who was hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, I saw him do a Dean Martin roast yesterday. I was watching all the Dean Martin roast.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
he was in that Mel Brooks. He was in High Anxiety too. He was good in that.
So okay.
He was
the guy who thought he was a dog.
Exactly.
They're roasting Frank Sinatra, and it was real corny, but Frank Sinatra was cracking up, man. He wasn't like pretending like, this is funny. He was cracking up, man. That kind of stuff, that's the kind of
that whole atmosphere and that kind of thing was funny anyway. They could say anything.
Right.
And the funniest was always like Don Rickles and Nipsey Russell. Those two were to me the funny. But
Foster Brooks.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
How can I forget?
Yeah.
That was the one trick pony that worked. He was funny as hell, boy. When he was on, boy, that guy was funny, boy.
And he called Sammy Davis Sandy Duncan Jr. That was pretty funny.
Sandy Duncan Jr.
And they also had Marsha Warfield from Night Court.
Oh yeah.
And she was talking about Richard Pryor. That was hilarious, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor, he's laughing his butt off too, man. One thing I like about Richard Pryor, he can dish it out, he can take it too.
He can take it too. Well, look here. Let me look at the audience. Let me look at I have to say. Welcome to WKKS, the Wendell, Kevin, and Kevin show. I'm your host, Wendell Watkins. We're joined by not one, but two Kevins.
Right.
Two Kevin. Kevin Robinson.
Sweet Kevin Kev.
And Kevin Thompson. Otherwise known as Norm McDonald.
Norm McDonald.
Glad you can join us for a discussion about anything and everything. Let's get right into it, baby. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, your mama gotta go. Hey, look here, but that was I was just little thoughts. I was thinking about this the other day. And remember the play and then movie Grease?
Okay. I didn't see it.
But you never saw it? Oh, anyway. But you remember how it was a big deal, right? But nowadays they made Grease, not Grease, but they made a similar thing about the past and the past music and stuff like that. It would be about 2005. They'd be making a play about 2005.
Oh yeah.
And the music that was happening between, say, 2003, 2006.
They did, and it was a High School Musical.
No, that's the High School Musical is not about the music of 2003, 2006.
The one, I don't know.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that the difference in time, we know our own time compared to time, but a lot of times we forget the time compared to other people's time. So if you remember that whole big 50s revival they had in the 70s?
In the 70s. Yeah,
you
right.
imagine a big aughts revival now? It would seem like, that just, to us, because we're old, that just happened. But to the kids, it was like, oh, wow, they're playing that music back in 2004. Yeah,
but think about all the sport figures that were drafted in the year 2000 are retired.
What's this now?
If you were drafted as a baseball player, a football player, hockey player even, in the year 2000, you're retired now.
Absolutely. And see, that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of times the perspective is lost as we get older. It's like everything that happened. I used to kid my mother about it. My mother used to say, well, the other day, and then the other day could mean anything from last Thursday to 1948. And in her mind, it was like, that's the other day. Wasn't the day. But, we get the time that we get used to is the time that we spend our most intense part of our growing and changing, and it's a lot of times that seems like a long time, but the time before that and after that seems like I don't know about you, but I'll be 70 in a couple of weeks, and I figured like, man, that time went by. 70. I feel like this guy on my route, he was a cool old dude too. He made his own computer. This is back in the 80s. But anyway, he's Mr. Pullum, Melvin Pullum. I'll tell you how old he was. He was he was the cast too. He graduated from cast. One of his teachers was Lindbergh's mother. Charles Lindbergh's mother. And when he was going to school, he was one of the few. He was like definitely a minority of black students in those days. But Malvin Pullum, great guy. But he said one time, he said, when do I still see the world out of the same eyes I had as a little boy? He says, I look at myself sometimes and I say, wow, that's you, Melvin. Wow. I feel like I've always felt like that. Though time passes so quickly, it always has. Yeah.
Did he fly?
Huh?
Was he a pilot?
No. One time I was coming home. He was laughing at that. I was coming home, walking from your house, Kevin. This is obviously years ago over in Journey True Projects. And I was walking across that field they had. Remember the field? You go for the projects and you go that field across. And I said, damn, I got to go all the way home. I got a long ways to go. Now I looked across the field and there was a Buick Wildcat parked on Nevada. And I had to go walk across the field to get to that far. And I said, wow, that Wildcat's a long way away. Now it's closer. Now I'm past it. And one day, this will be 50 years ago. That's how I was thinking my little boy here, right? And I said, I think in my old man's head, nothing. That was over 55 years ago now. 56, 57, 58 years ago.
I was just thinking about that as from my golf yesterday. You know, I was two days before, you know, you're thinking, oh man, I got 2 more days until we tee off. And then now it was yesterday. We already teed off. It's gone already, you know?
That's
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's like,
you know,
I don't know, my daughter, or a blessing. I've always thought like that.
Yeah, when my daughter was born, I was holding her in the hospital. And I thought to myself, in 22 years, she'll be graduating from college. And I'll be 50 old. And that's going on 11 years ago. Okay, that I turned 59. You know, and I thought 22 years, yeah, man, you know, that's a long time, man. And it passes the same rate as, you know, it's each minute is 60 seconds. But it's just something when you get past that, you know, and now it's like a long way past that.
Yeah.
20 years from now, we're going to be looking back thinking about, you know, this time now.
Absolutely.
When we're 90.
I can't help but think like that too. That's that same way all the time. It helps me sometimes, like when I'm going through a bad patch, I think like, this is gonna be over. This is gonna be over soon. But and you can look at it in a good way. It's like the anticipation for something. You can really love it even more. So yeah, it's a mixed blessing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, I always said, you know, when you get old, you have less time than more. That's what that is to me. You know,
that's a good way. I like that.
Yeah, and you know, you look up and you say, well, you know, when you're 28, you go, yeah, man, I could be here another 50 years.
Yep.
I'm 70. I sincerely doubt if I'll be here another 50 years. I don't really want to be here another 50 years. But if we're all 90, man, we're all 90 years old, you know, we can do this show. We can still be doing this. And only thing is, Audrey just have to wake us up every once in a while. You know?
That's the thing too. Is like as getting older is and it's knowing, make sure you're being able to do things that you can still do that you enjoy. And I'm lucky enough to have a lot of things that, in spite of all my physical and mental shortcomings, that I still love to do. So that really helps. That really helps.
As long as I can remember things, I'm fine. I mean, we all forget a few things, but I do not want to be a point where I can't recognize my kid. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want that. Where
wait a minute. Who are you? Oh, I remember.
Sweet Kevin Kid.
Sweet Kevin.
That's right, man. You know another nickname I had.
I know a couple.
Yeah, I think of one you had too. You know,
we won't go there. We won't go there. Nope.
When did you guys first meet, man?
At your mama's. she had a sale going on. Yeah,
we made that accent.
2 for 1, 2 for 1.
Okay,
Two
well,
for
calm
one.
down, calm down. You know, I've been putting
I
up with
know.
this shit. I've been putting up with this shit for years, for decades,
I
Kevin.
know.
He goes off on these.
Who's this guy?
He
What's he
goes off
talking
on these
about?
tangents, man. And you can't stop him. You just can't stop him. Now we met in elementary school.
In elementary?
Yeah, elementary. Atkins Elementary, greatest school in the world. And he said 1965, right?
65.
65.
Okay.
1965. Holland man
65.
now still alive. Remember that famous day and year? Never mind.
Yeah, so we know each other over 60 years.
Pencil.
50 years.
Yeah. He asked me, he said, hey man, can I borrow a pencil? And I was like, who is this mother, you know what, asking me for something? I'm not this
Who's this
big
long, tall sucker?
Yeah, but he had I gave it to him, and you know, he gave it back. You know, I said, okay. And it kind of if he didn't, I was gonna whoop his ass.
Yes. Man, no good son of a bitch.
That must have been Miss Schoonfield's class.
Miss Schoonfield, exactly. Miss
Damn.
Schoonfield.
So you can remember that?
Man,
Yeah.
Miss Schoonfield,
Jeez.
Mr. Edwards, Miss Bedell, Mr. Reeves, Mr. Calloway, Mr. Galtieri, Mr. Mervis,
Mr. Wilson,
Mr. Wilson, Miss Garriott, Mr. Lorenz.
No, you said Mervis, man. I got a Mervis story for you. You know, Mr. Mervis. Yeah, he's a gym teacher, Kevin. He's very muscular. You know, he's a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And a couple things with him. His problem was he thought that we can do the stuff that he did, which we couldn't. Like he took us across the street to Cranswoods Park, and he put up those Olympic rings where the swing set was. He grabs the rings, and he's doing all this. Man, he's extending his arms out like that, and puts his legs up. Then he do a couple flips around and all this. I was like, damn! I said, that's great, man. That's great. Then he comes down. He said, "Okay, Kevin, you do it." So he puts me up on the rings, man, and I'm hanging like this. Man,
Uh-oh.
I'm just picturing him hanging on the rings like that.
Oh yeah, man. And everybody's laughing and stuff. And finally he says, "Oh, get off the ring." I said, "Mr. Mervis, I can't do that. You don't just do automatically." Now, he was getting on all the kids' nerves with this stuff.
Oh, you're freezing. You're freezing.
Wendell, you weren't there?
We wanted to get rid of it.
No. We had different classes at different times.
Oh, okay.
So we had this meeting in the auditorium, Miss Campbell's auditorium.
Miss Campbell.
And Galtieri was there, and Mervis was there. And then they said, like, we understand that you kids have a lot of issues with Mr. Mervis. Yes. So Mr. Mervis said, okay, if it's like that, whoever doesn't want me to be a teacher, raise your hand. And we all raised our hands like this. He got pissed off and walked out, and never saw him again. Now, thank goodness he just left, because nowadays, you don't know, he might come back in there with a gun and do who knows what, But yeah, man, we got rid of him. We got rid of him because he just, it's
He
one
wound
thing
up
to
on the
expect
street.
things out
Wasn't
of
that an episode on Seinfeld when they got that guy kicked out? George got the gym teacher fired.
Yeah, I remember that.
He wound up a homeless guy living out on the street.
Costanza. Can't
stands, yeah.
Hey, Kevin, Kevin, can you see the other Kevin moving, or is he frozen?
No, I can't see him at all.
Hey, Kevin, you're frozen right now. We can't hear you either. No, I can hear. We can hear you the whole story, but you weren't moving the whole story. You were just sitting still.
I want to know if you did the flip.
I don't know what's wrong, Wendell. The screen keeps blacking out.
Oh man. Maybe we can pause it for a second, and you can rejoin us. What do you say? Why don't we do that?
What? You want me to what? Clock out?
Just go out and then come back in. We'll see what Cardi can edit this, I think.
You keep glitching to me too,
right.
Wendell. Oh, there he is.
I'm glitching on yours too?
So every once in a while, you'll just freeze like that, and then you'll just keep on going. Yeah.
Right.
Which is pretty scary.
I guess it is.
Like I can see Kevin.
Am I moving? Am I moving? Can you see me move?
Yeah, you're moving. Go like this.
That's your mother. You asked me to do that all the time.
Go like this.
That's similar. Yeah. Like mother, like child.
I can't see all three of you at the same time.
You can't.
I can't see all three of you at the same time.
Me neither. I just pick up one or the other.
At least you're moving though now. I can see all three of us.
I can't.
Okay. Well, that should be all right though, I guess.
Okay. Did any of you guys enter the transfer portal?
The who?
The transfer portal.
I don't get it.
These basketball players, man. And nowadays they just you can
They
just go.
School.
Yeah, just go to what the more money, right?
Yeah.
For more money, yeah. That's why Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, baby. That's right.
College players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
so
they call it
other colleges can draft them.
Yeah, they decide if this is a portal, I guess, where they can transfer to any school that they want. You know.
What about their academic credits? That counts too.
No, they don't go. They don't use that stuff no more.
They don't give a damn about that.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. Their other credits don't make any difference at all.
Man, if I'm a top 3 rated quarterback in college, I can have a 1.2 GPA, and I'll get
That's
it.
what I'm trying to figure out. Is like,
they claim they look at your character and all that. You know, they had a guy play football for us. I can't remember his name or the school, but it was a small school, and they said this has been his 6th school. I said 6, and he still didn't have a degree. He didn't even have a degree. He just going to school.
Yeah,
you know,
just playing football. Yeah, that's what these guys are doing now. All the 5 guys, starters on Michigan, all were in different schools last year.
Really?
Yep. They all transferred.
Well,
we all together and we won the national title. You know, I know some places in sport, they go, oh, they bought a title. I said, hell, everybody's buying titles.
Yeah. What? Because they say that about the Yankees. They bought, well, so what? There's a professional. Professional, that means they get paid to do it.
But you still got to do it, though.
Okay, so I bought a title. So what? What the hell? That's what
you still got to win. You still got to win, man. And in college, you might play 30 games, 32 games during the regular season. Then you got to go on a 5 or 6 game winning streak, you know, in the tournament. Yeah. So if you have one bad game in the tournament, you're out.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not
unless you like Duke. Unless you want to be like Duke and just throw it away on some dumb shit. But
it's not like baseball where they have a series. It's one game, you're out. So,
one game, you're out.
One bad game, that's it.
Yeah. That's what's UConn. UConn's been in the Final Four, about 3 or 4 times the last 4 years or something? And I think they've won a couple of them.
No, UConn has won. God, I wish I could check it, but I think since the 2000s, UConn has won like 6 times, something like that.
Yeah.
Women's. What you talking about? The women's or the men's?
The men.
So I know the women. They used to win the women's regularly.
Yeah. The women, they won Uriah, even though he looked like an idiot when he lost to South Carolina by berating Dawn Staley. He's won 12 championships with them. But UConn men has just come on this, you know. In the 2000s, they've really come on.
But this coach they have now, he's like he's been to the Final Four or something like 3 or 4 times within the last 5 years, something like that.
So UConn become the UCLA of the 21st century, huh? Like remember the old UCLA teams when we were kids?
Yeah, but at least you know Hurley, his brother is Bobby Hurley, used to play for Duke.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I remember the name. Yeah.
Bobby
Hurley. And Bobby Hurley used to give Michigan fits, man, back in the day. You know,
the Fab Five. Yeah.
Man, you know something about the Fab Five. I know they asked the question on social media. They said, "Who's better, this Michigan team or the Fab Five?" Which is rather silly. The thing with me about the Fab Five, they won a lot of games, and they did go to two finals games, and they lost one, but they lost to North Carolina with Eric Montrose. I'll never forgive him for that, man. And then Montrose, and that's when Chris Webber called that timeout when we didn't have any more timeouts.
Oh yeah.
That was silly. So now you want to talk about the best team money can buy? Now that was one right there. You know,
they got caught too.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely.
Right. They got stripped and everything too, didn't they?
Yeah. That booster or something. Martin. His last name was Martin, I believe.
Yeah, they had one booster, and you know, Michigan though, since 2000, they've been to at least two Final Fours, two finals games before this one. You know, in the last few years. So Michigan has, you know, but they just haven't won. See, that's the thing. So they won this one, so that's great. And next year the team probably look totally different.
I think they already got one big name in the transfer portal. I think they got one big name so far.
Yeah, well, winning the title will do that though. That'll draw some people to you, man.
Yeah, that coach, they like that coach too. What's his name? Right. Dusty May. Yeah,
Dusty May. Man, don't that sound like a stripper? That sounds like a stripper.
Dusty May. I was thinking about when you said Dusty, it was Dusty Rhodes. Which also sounds like a stripper name, Dusty Rhodes. We could do all kinds of ideas of that with and remember his partner, Dirty Dick Murdoch. Dirty Dick and Dusty Rhodes. What's that all about?
Murdoch was stone cold racist too, man. From what I understand.
Yeah, I remember back when they were the Outlaws. I think it was Dirty Dick Murdoch said something particularly bad, even for wrestling.
I know what you're saying. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was something really.
It stayed with me at the time.
It was pretty ugly. And you kind of know,
guy anymore. Forget that guy.
We
root for all the bad guys, but not Dirty Dick Murdoch.
Yeah, he's not playing around no more. He's being for real here with that one.
Exactly. It was something it's like either that or something, I can't remember what it was. But it was something bad, yeah.
I don't even remember Dirty Dick Murdoch.
Well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, really.
And either no good something. Anyway, I was thinking they were talking about all these nutcases that are running the country, and why is it that people don't stand up to them and this and that and other. So I was just thinking about something that this is something that comes up in regular everyday life all the time, and I know I've talked to you and you about it by ourselves, but I just wanted to say out here so maybe we can go on it. It's this whole idea about why is it you don't have to have rules to tell you that in order to be this, you gotta be an asshole or something like that. Because the thing is, when you have a despot as a ruler, what happens is nobody's around them, whether it's in the White House or if it's at your neighborhood. If a despot, the only people around them are going to be sycophants, cowards, and like-thinking assholes, right? So it's not a coincidence that the people that all are surrounding him are a bunch of punks, because that's what he is, an immoral punk. And I was thinking about in action, in work, back when we worked, Kevin, this fellow that we knew, a great fellow by the name of Jerry Chisholm. I don't think you ever met him, Kevin, obviously, but really good guy, real funny as hell, hilarious, very smart. And we met him. He came into our station as a post office station as a supervisor, and he was like real cool. He was an actual supervisor. He was cool as hell. And then one day he came in, and we had a bunch. I should proceed that was saying we had a bunch of real low down. Talk about sycophantic, like this one guy named McPherson and the manager named Johnson, and there were a bunch of people that weren't too cool, put it that way.
That's
Lewis, sycophantic, cowardly, immoral bullies. At any rate, they took turns doing each one of those jobs. But at any rate, Jerry came in and he was a breath of fresh air because he was like really doing a job that made sense. At any rate, one day he came in and he was in his regular uniform, his postal uniform, carrier's uniform. said, what's up, Jerry? I said, man, Jerry. He goes, man, they don't want supervisors here. They want stooges. And I ain't no stooge. And that right there says a lot, because if you ain't gonna get a job at the White House, you might have it for a minute, like Jerry did under that command. But after a while, if you got any guts or scruples or anything, or human qualities, so you're gonna say, I'm not working with these guys. I'm sorry, real quick. Audrey, my ex-wife, she was talking about at her station, a similar thing happened, and the supervisor had this manager had this long speech, and made everybody late for going on their route, which, believe me, is no fun. And then after she made this long speech, she said, and you won't get any time for this, right? She said to her supervisor, they're not going to get any time for this. So you go out there and tell them that. He said, I'm not going to tell them that stuff. You tell them. He said, I'm not going to tell them that. He said,
Jerry said that?
The manager told the supervisor to tell the workers that you're not going to get any time for that long ass talk, right?
Yeah.
And the supervisor said, no, I'm not going to do that. You tell them. Man, I'm not going to tell them some stuff like that. And so she said, well, you might not have. He said, I don't care. You can get rid of my job. I'm not going to do that. But see, how many people are going to stand up like that? Most people aren't. Some people are, but most people aren't. And I know, Kevin Robinson, you told me a lot of stories about where you worked and things like that, similar things. But some people just don't have no gumption. And so that's why, that's the answer to that question, like, why is all these guys like that? Because that's the only people they'll take. If you got anything in there, you're going to either leave on your own or they'll kick your ass out.
Yeah. And you and if you try to, some people, we should stay and try to change things. Well, something, when you got that many people against you, it's very hard to. It's very hard to change. Like what the Blade say is ice skating uphill. You just can't do it sometimes. Yeah, and it's tough though, man. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. I've worked in Focus Hope, and did I have my differences, even with Father Cunningham and Eleanor? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I did. But for the most part, their hearts were in the right place.
Exactly.
I had an argument with Cunningham one time, and he knew when I was mad, because I usually call him Father Cunningham. He's a priest, and I'm not a religious guy, but I respect his title. But when I got mad at him, I call him Bill. And he no. I said,
boy.
I said, okay, Bill. And he looked at me, oh, Kevin, you're a little upset. I tell you, one of the funniest things.
That's the difference between somebody that will allow people to stand up to them because they want to hear you, as opposed to people that, you know what I mean?
One thing I told, but he didn't. Okay, and we used to make these hoses. I used to say something to him that it was, I thought it was funny, but he didn't. So we used to make these hoses, these black hoses with these gold ends to them, metal ends to them, and we were making them, for a Ford Motor Company or somebody. And I came upstairs, and he says, hey, Kevin, come on over here. Let me show you something. And I said, yeah, what you got? He said, oh, these are the hoses we're going to be making. So I put one in my hand. I said, oh, that's nice. I said, so we got a contract with the Los Angeles Police Department? He did not think that was funny.
I think it's funny.
He said, okay, Kevin. All right. That's what it was. Okay, Kevin. That was my dude though, man. I said, he wasn't perfect. Eleanor was not perfect.
Well, you say like they had hearts though, but like saying most supervisors never had any hearts in the post office.
Our postal supervisors, we had a few that were cool, but for the most part, it's like where the hell they get these people? They got they look right here at you, lie like a son of a bitch, and not.
It was a requirement to have no heart, for them guys.
All the ones that were cool, during certain times, right? Over the years, we had some cool people too, but even couple cool managers actually. But the ones that weren't cool, it's like, what the hell is going on? You had a story, Kevin Thompson. that you were getting ready to say.
I just was wondering if they had messed with Jerry after that, because they made him he got a route. I forgot if he got a route after that. Or was
I
just
think he
floating.
did get a route. Yeah, he did get a route. Then he transferred out.
Yeah, yeah, he wasn't there that long.
No, he wasn't there that long.
He was a good guy though.
He was a hell of a good guy.
Yeah.
That guy could bowl too. His whole family could bowl. And his little boy at the time, he's grown now, but he was a hell of a bowler too. I mean, 200 average. What the hell? The whole family, father, mother, and child, all could bowl 200. What the hell is this?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They were good. And he never played golf before he started picking up golf. Wait, you never played before? What's happening, man?
Yeah,
I've been playing for 10 years. The same half my shot. This guy goes, after 2 weeks, hey, you want to play golf again, Wendell? He called me Wendell. I said, no. No, I said, yeah, he's a good guy. No,
but then you had
good guy.
Then you had supervisors like what's his name, Sparks, who would harass people, and then they what's his name, Walter, took him into the regional manager. And they told him to leave Walter alone. Stop harassing him. The very next day, he come back and start harassing him again. And then they send him to another station where he starts harassing somebody there.
That's what they do. We're not. It's all right that you harass them. Just don't do it there. It's like the police have that thing with remember Raymond Peterson, that guy that killed 6 people with stress.
Oh yeah.
So what happened? Did he go to jail? Hell no. Did he get convicted even? No, hell, nothing like that. They sent. They did get rid of him the DPD, but he had so much support from the department. They had they clogged the courtroom, and they had a jury let him go. It was incredible. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, after all that murder, he ended up going to another police department. It's like that punk, what's the guy's name down in Florida? The police actually told the one that killed Trayvon Martin. The police even told him, leave that guy alone, and he went up there and killed him anyway. And then he's going around autographing Skittles packages and making a name for himself with police departments around the country. There's no good low down son of a bitch.
Well, that's where you know that anybody who sought that autograph, you know what they're all about.
Yeah, you know they're about. Obviously, there's no heart and no brain either, but just a low down. But some people worship guys like that. I mean, hell, a lot of people liked Hitler, didn't they?
Yeah, well, of course, and they still do.
They still do. A lot of people don't realize how fascist they are. They look at it like, well, I just want this and I want that, but they don't realize that what they're also saying is, I want them to have what they want, because it's like, oh, never mind. I'll go on to another thing about it.
Who's that billionaire that backed Clarence Thomas? He had he was a Hitler fanatic or something. He had the original copy of the Mein Kampf and all that stuff like that.
I can't remember.
I forgot his name now.
Wow.
He's some billionaire. He's running the country. I forgot his name.
Yeah. He wants you to forget. But forget. Sometimes people don't recognize their own fascist tendencies. Like they'll say things like, "I'm for." I want my religion taught in schools, but they'll say, but okay, in that case, we'll bring in the Quran and the different. No, not those religions. They don't even realize what that means. What they really mean is they're not against, what they think they're against. They're for something else. What they're really for themselves and what they think is right, and everybody else should be suppressed.
Well, they're not for indoctrination unless it's something they want to indoctrinate you with.
Much better said. Exactly. Look at those kids in China. They're all to stand up and salute. Wait a minute. How about you kids that stand up and salute the American flag and put the hand over the heart and say this? Well, that's not indoctrination. Oh, because what you're indoctrinating, what you want them to get that's all right, but not the stuff. Now I get it now. You want your type of fascism, not that kind of fascism.
They're putting that Turning Point USA. They're putting them in every school in Texas now. They were talking about. I seen somewhere that they have to have a club there for a Turning Point USA club.
That's the sick shit.
in all the schools, all the high schools.
I think Tyrone Davis is going to come out of the grave and say, change the name of that turning point.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's this country is sick. Yes. And especially if people say, oh, you're unpatriotic. I said, no, I'm not a fascist, you know. And,
thank you very much.
So if patriotic means being a fascist, well then I'm unpatriotic, man.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah,
all that stuff. No, I mean Colin Kaepernick was that type.
Yeah.
You know, he kneels down and everybody gets in an uproar, but George Floyd gets kneeled on and get killed, and he was resisting. He didn't make up anything. Type of excuse. You know, I mean, the worst was Rodney King. When I saw that tape, and he got and these guys beating the hell out this dude, and then one of the jury members said, well, it looked like he was resisting when he moved a little bit. I said, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to lay you down, and we're going to beat the shit out of you and see if you don't move. Okay, so if you don't move, then you're right. Okay, so we're going to beat your ass, and we'll beat you for 90 seconds, you know, and you got 4 cops beating them, another 15 to 19 standing around. Yeah. And you can't subdue this guy that weighs 145 pounds.
They were having fun. They were having fun beating the hell out of him.
Right. They were getting out their impressions. That's what they were doing. They always wanted to do that, you know. And then they get off, and then Los Angeles explodes into this riot. And why you do that?
Those people are so violent.
Right. When that poor guy got pulled out of the truck, what was it? And that was total bullshit.
Huh? The same name as a 30s movie star. I'm trying to think of his name. He got that was messed up.
But the thing about that was, he came on Oprah with the 4 guys that beat him, and he forgave him. I said I would have found him not guilty. He busted a cap in every one of their asses because that was just wrong what they did to him. But what kills me though is that people can jump up and down and go, that was so wrong. I said, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Now what about those cops over there? Oh, that's different. Well, fuck you then. I don't want to talk to you. Okay?
And that's
because you're always on your side.
That's the bottom line. Is there's people that just want to go for their side. There's people that want the truth. The truth tellers, the truth seekers, as opposed to I want my side, period. And I've seen that people, believe it or not, I've seen some people that are like tend to be so-called left and progressive. I see a few of them the same. They don't know any more than a lot of people either. It's talking shit. They don't even know. You should know. I think the thing that separates people a lot of times is whether or not they want to find out the truth, or whether they want to find enough evidence to justify themselves, justify their cowardice, justify their fear, justify their whatever it is that they think they have to justify, as opposed to people that are trying to find the truth and then go by that, as opposed to find just the truth that justify what they want to do.
Yeah, but when you look at the practice of law, it's the same thing. You got prosecution, you got defense. Well, I'm going to defend this guy no matter what. I'm going to give him the best, even if I think he did it. I'm going to give him the best defense. Over here, I'm going to prosecute this person. Well, wait a minute, you got some weak points there. We got to shut this case down or whatever. Nobody's really looking for the truth. They're looking for their side.
That's the nature of the system. That's the nature of the system.
Right, it's funny too when you this is a 180-degree turn here, but when you talk about like sports and stuff, and I remember I hate LeBron, let flop, and all this other bullshit people picked up on, and this guy listed all these stats about him, all these stats. This guy said stats mean nothing. I said, oh, so the guy comes back, he comes back, he says, so how come every time you mention Michael Jordan, you say he has 6 rings? Why do you mention that? You hear crickets. See, so it's like, let's get out of who's the GOAT, and I don't give a damn who the GOAT is. My favorite guitar player is Jimi Hendrix. I didn't say he's the greatest. He's my favorite.
He's my favorite.
Bill Bruford is my favorite. Jack Bruce is my favorite bass player. There's other bass players out there. I know this. I know this. Okay. I don't care. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn because we
Yeah.
can't have any type of discourse if we're just trying to say, well, let me find out something about your guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And then you talk about Michael Jordan. When people start talking about, well, how did he treat his kids, and he cheated on his wife. You never heard that about LeBron, right? And then everybody, well, that don't matter. We talking about basketball. I said, oh, okay. But I bet you if LeBron got busted doing that, you'd bring that. That's the first thing you bring up. So stop it.
That's the thing I don't like. I'll tell you, this matches sports with that whole thing with Reggie White, who I have a lot of respect for. He was making some really bad remarks and stuff like that, and he's very religious. And then the people said, "Man, that's not right what you were saying." He says, but instead of just defending himself, he looked into it. He ended up trying to learn Aramaic and Hebrew so he can read the original text of the Bible as original as he can get when he went to Israel and everything like that. But all that to say, I respect that kind of person. They're not just pulling words out of their ass and saying they want to, and then try to figure out what treaties will back up their bullshit. He's actually challenging himself and looking back at himself. And whether you agree or disagree with people like that, at least they have integrity. And we can move further as a human race if we're all honest with each other and have integrity with each other. Then we can figure out what to do as opposed to figure out, oh, I figured it out. Now y'all must go for that, or you're the enemy.
The problem is there's only a handful of people like that, man.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that most people I think all of us are in a flux, but I think most people tend to be in the middle of trying to think about whether they want to figure it out or just try to dodge the punches and get through life.
Yeah, justify themselves.
I think
it's like too when you hear, but when you hear people say, I see this on social media, and folks say, "Oh, women are so emotional. They're so emotional." And I wrote to this one cat. I said, "So, when a man thinks his lady is cheating on him and blows her brains out, what's that? Is that an emotion?" And you'll never get an answer back. I said, "Yeah, that's an emotion. Yeah, men are very emotional. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?"
People some people like just simple answers, whether they make any sense or not.
They don't care. They want to go by. They heard it when they were young, and they just held on to it till now.
And you know what? We're almost through. But we're almost through. But that's something. Can you say that again one more time?
Say what again? I can't remember.
They heard it when they were young and they held on to it. I know a guy we used to work with. He said, "I don't eat nothing that my mama did used to make for me." And I said, some people just like that about their thoughts and ideas too. Whatever they heard
it's easy. It's very easy. It's very easy.
It's
very easy. Hey man.
Yeah.
Hey. Before we go,
yeah.
Now I got to do another 180 here, man.
Go ahead.
I went to this concert yesterday at the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, man, with Tabitha Berglund, the conductor. Man, she is fantastic. I love her. I've seen her like 4 or 5 times, man, and I love the way she conducts it. She's so, animated, and she'll look right at she'll finger these pictures.
Oh no, he's starting to glitch.
So
it's glitching.
Yeah.
Go back to what you were talking about.
I can't have man.
He's talking about he went out with the conductor.
He went out with the conductor.
No, but she's a very good conductor,
okay.
and she has she's very animated, and they were doing what do they call them? I'm looking at it right now, Northern Lights Festival, and they were doing Peer Gynt, Anna Gibson thing, but they had this and they played this concerto for birds and orchestra, Cantus Arcticus, by this guy. I'm going to screw up his name, is Eno Johanni Rastuvara, something like that. Man, it's one of the most beautiful pieces I ever heard. And that's the beauty of going on to classical music. I can't claim to know classical music. I don't. But my ears are fixed and I can listen to anything. If I think I like this genre, I can go in there and adapt to it, right? But this Sibelius piece that this kid, and can I call him a kid? He's 25, man. His name is Johann Dahlin. this kid was fantastic, man. He was fantastic. And I'm looking at this guy like, who the hell is this dude? You know, where'd he come from? And he was so good. He got 2 standing ovations. He came out and did an encore, just a solo encore, and walked off to a 3rd standing ovation. But the thing that was so interesting, members of the orchestra were just shaking their heads like this. They're just like, and I said, man, I saw something tonight. That's one of those times you go, I've done it with blues, with rock, and all that, but I said, tonight for a classical concert, I saw something tonight, man. I'm so glad I went.
What was this instrument?
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
Oh, I'm sorry. Violin.
Oh, violin.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He played a kazoo. He's really good on a kazoo.
A kazoo. Blew your mind.
What was the name?
No, he played violin, man.
Johann what?
Johann, Johan, Dalene, Dalene. Because you never know.
Johann Kazoo
he's from like Norway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's bad, man. He was
dude.
bad. And you know something, one last thing about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of Henry Gibson and all that, and I probably read some of it. But what was interesting, when they was playing, I said, okay, let me listen to this now. And all of a sudden, they start playing these passages. I'm like, I know that.
I know that. Yeah.
I've heard that before. And that's the beauty of classical music. It's like I'm discovering stuff all over again. When I look into it, I said, oh my God, yeah, I've been listening to that for, it will come and go. Yeah, like in a commercial or in a TV
Warner
show
Brothers cartoons. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they all used it. Absolutely fantastic, man. That was great.
All right. That's at the Orchestra Hall?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I
was there.
You were there?
Back when I fell asleep, man. That's what I fell asleep one time really good at who was it? Billy Cobham and Chick Corea. What?
Return Forever.
Return Forever, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, I think it was.
Mahavishnu Orchestra, yeah.
And I drank so much beer that night too before I went in there, but I passed out. That music just put me to sleep, man. Really good. Mahavishnu Orchestra.
I saw them with Frank Zappa.
Yeah, I saw them with you then. It was in May of 1974.
I think I went 73. I was on the main floor.
Okay, it was Mahavishnu Orchestra and Frank Zappa.
Yeah, but
I don't know if Zappa was there. I don't remember who was there with him. I think it was at Masonic where I seen him. Was that it?
No, I saw him at Cobo Hall. I must say, but I remember one time going to sleep when it was the Cult and Metallica, and the Cult opened for Metallica, and I went to sleep after the Cult. I went to sleep on Metallica. That was back when Metallica was really like crazy, but it was just rolling so and rumbling so I went right to sleep.
Yeah, that constant drone.
I was with you at that concert. I was with you. That was at Pine Knob.
Exactly. I went to sleep on Metallica.
About that, when the Cult was on, there was these 2 guys behind us, and the guy went, "Oh man, I can't stand Billy Duffy. He only knows 4 chords." And I got a little
stupid.
I got a little stupid. And I said, I turned around and I said, well, that's 3 more than Kurt Hammett knows.
Burn.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get some letters about that, man. Some people like that guy, some people can't stand him. But he's okay. I'm just being a smart ass because
you be a smart ass retaliation for that smart ass.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that was a trip. I told people since that about that. Yeah, you went to sleep on Metallica. I said, you must have been really tired. I said, yeah, and then they were kind of boring to me anyway. Then the drum was the level of sound never gave me a big rush. I like it or don't like it, it didn't make a difference. But if something like the sameness of something, I'm sorry, we gotta get out here. But I remember a group that I really liked was Living Color. And I remember the album they put out after that, after the Pride. What was the album with Pride on? What was the title of that?
Oh man, you asked me questions, man. I got my
Listen to
record
Life and all that
collection.
stuff. But the album they put out after that was called Stain, I believe.
Stain,
And
yeah,
Stain
red
was
cover.
good, but every song to me kind of ran to each other and they didn't. So it's like they were all like 0 to 4 stars. They were all 3-star songs, but they were all very much the same. And so in a lot of ways to me. And so it wasn't nothing wrong with the album. It just wasn't right with me. It was like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy that because it's all pretty much. I got the good stuff already. And that's how I felt about Metallica. It was like, yeah, all the songs are all right, but they're all pretty much same. I
Yeah.
mean, change the titles,
Yeah.
and I don't know the difference. I know the difference.
Well,
I'm not gonna go that far, but
you want
it just didn't excite
You want to talk about bad sound? You want to talk about bad sound? The
me.
worst sound I've ever heard.
I know
Okay.
you're gonna say.
Well, the best sound I've ever heard, seriously, was at a Uriah Heep concert at Cobo.
Oh,
I could hear every word David Byron was singing. It
Uriah
was
Heep and
incredible.
Earth, Wind, and
Okay.
Fire. The Earth, Wind, and Fire. Which one?
I don't know. I
Okay.
just remember Uriah Heep. But the worst sound by
No.
far will never be topped. You know
No
what I'm
doubt.
going to say?
Of course.
Was the Smashing Pumpkins at
State Fair.
State Fairgrounds. It was horrible, man. I mean,
Unbelievable.
they said like white. They're talking about white noise. You know,
Yeah,
just
that's all
noise.
I can
That's
hear.
all it was. And you
That's
can
all
see
I
them
can
up there. They're moving
Yeah.
around. They're playing their asses off, but it's just a blur, man.
The
And
sound
then I finally,
and look.
I saw them 20-something years later, and they made up for it, even though it wasn't the same. Yeah. I saw him with Jimmy Chamberlain because I love that drummer. I love their drummer,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Chamberlain. Then I saw Jane's Addiction. They were with Jane's Addiction.
Oh, I like
But-
James. I like that group.
But Dave Navarro wasn't with Jane's Addiction.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sick. He had long COVID. But then when Jane's Addiction was going to play Pine Knob or DT Energy Theater, whatever the hell you want to call it, they were going to play that. That's when Perry Farrell had his little meltdown and with his silly ass, and then they canceled the damn show. I said, come on, man, because I was finally going to see all of them, including the bass player. But Perry has to have his little hissy fit.
Hissy fit.
And go around punching. I mean, one time he said, I deserve to get 50% because I write everything. I said, he's an asshole. I said,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just opposite of Iggy was my main man, badass dude in rock. Iggy Pop, the man, the legend, boy. He says, yeah, we all stayed in this house. We all stayed together in the studios. Now, we're kind of communists, you know. We just all split everything even.
You sound just like him.
Hey, there you go.
That's my boy. I love Iggy
There
Pop.
you go.
My boy, I love it. Yeah.
I heard that's what the Eagles did when Timothy Schmidt joined them. Now it's like 35, 40 years ago, but when he joined the Eagles, and he said something like, yeah, man, we go on tour. It's even. We get paid evenly.
Even Steve, that makes sense. You're a band.
Right. But the only problem with the Eagles, they didn't tour that much. So yeah, you're in this band that makes a shit ton of money, but if you ain't writing anything, and if you're just sitting there, you're not really getting paid, you know. And so he had some lean times. Then when they started going on tour again, of course, he made his share. But there's a lot of places like that, man. You know, because they know, look, man, especially like a band like U2, you know, they're all friends. They went to high school together.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, man, if me and you go on tour, man, and you got like me, you, and Reggie as a power trio, well, I write everything, Wendell, so I'll get 50%.
Wendell say, but I'm the looks, man. I'm the looks.
That's right, man. Wendell say Wendell probably say I'm the tallest. I kick both y'all asses. Okay, so
man, yeah, look here.
Yeah. What time is it?
Time to go.
Good, I can go put some pants on.
But you really, I now see when you say something like that, I believe you actually don't have pants on.
I don't.
Watch out.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
No.
Hey, man, look.
No.
On that note, let's do a podcast for Father's Day and call it the Father's Day podcast. And we all appear with our shirts off.
I was gonna wear them balloons today, like the what's the name, Kissy Gnome's husband. We didn't have any balloons. See pictures of that guy?
Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
That was some weird stuff, man. That was really strange. It's getting stranger and strange. It's got to the point now where, like, wow, I hear these crazy things. Like, man, is this the Onion or is it really the White House? Like when that Trump that tweet he put out about he's just
and then the civilization.
Yeah, it's like it's like what the hell is this? It's like a bad movie. And then there's murdered people over there. Like another 200 some odd people got killed yesterday in Lebanon. And it's like the news, they don't even focus on that. They're talking, the next thing you know, they're talking about some kid hitting a 20-foot putt at the Masters 3 par 3 thing. They glaze over the fact that all these civilians are getting murdered and they're threatening the very core of the lives of millions of people. And they really think they're the good guys?
See, Lindsey Graham talking about blowing everybody over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that. He said he's going to blow everybody over there.
Send them over there. Get started. Tell them to get started. Man, we're nuts, man. This damn country.
It's crazy.
Well, you know, when the shit starts happening here, that's when
that's the
you're
only
gonna
time
have people who. Well, when people who are for it happens, they'll get further entrenched in it. But those folks on the borderline, they're going to say, "Wait a minute,
yeah, what the hell are you bringing on us?" Yeah,
right. You know, and thank goodness a lot of the car manufacturing has moved out of Detroit. Maybe nobody will mess with us because we ain't building shit here. Okay.
Otherwise, Detroit would be the #1 target. You're back like it was the Arsenal of Democracy in the 40s.
Absolutely. And you know, when I was going to school in Virginia, you had all the military bases around there. Yeah, the Coast Guard, you had the Army,
the Pentagon.
Yeah, everybody over there. So you know, man, I mean, it'd be all hell break loose.
Be hell to pay if this ever. I hope never that doesn't happen.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
Kevin, when were you down there in Virginia?
Excuse me?
When were you in Virginia?
74 to 78.
Yeah, I was down there all through 75, 76. I was in Norfolk.
That's what we need to talk about next time. For sure.
Okay.
For real. We'll talk about that next time.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that, man.
But that is definitely something to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
Crossing.
All right.
All right. Adios, y'all.
We'll forget all about it anyway. All right. See you, Kev.
All right, brother. Take care.
Wendell. Let me put some minutes on.
Wendell, Kevin, that's a show.
Adios, y'all.
I'm having a seizure. Okay.
We talk about things you want to know. From the bay, we come to you with the freshest point of view. Watkins Lee.